Hey everybody. Ooh. I love these animations. They look just so cool. And Maurice is definitely one to look out for. So I have had a little bit of a look at his kit. I've seen some of the things that he can do. And there's a lot of theory crafting going on around his kit at the moment about what some potentially OP matchups will be, teams for raids, for PvP, and just teams that could do something for some things that would be very fun. So this sounds like a character that I can't wait to toy around with. So let's jump into his kit and let's go from there. So with his basic, he deals pretty decent amount of damage um for for what we are seeing. These characters, they are hitting pretty well, and he's an offense. He's like a for like the damage that we saw on Beast, then you see damage like this. This is definitely some decent hitting offensive damage. And then he gains charge with a max of 9. So what is also interesting, before we just keep going on this road, he does have the tech tag up there as well. And is it interesting that he also gets charges as well? I know Gantu also gets charges. He's not tech, but maybe this is something that they might start working to do a lot more of the tech characters. Maybe. Not sure. Alright, let's carry on. So you can get max of 9 charge. So at level 2, when you level up as basic, you can call up to one random summon teammate to assist. And then level 4, an extra one. So you can get 1 or 2 when he's at max. Now that's pretty cool for summons. Now, for those of you who don't realize yet or haven't really noticed, he's got a lot to do with summons and things like that with his kit. So let's jump into more of it. So, honors a special, fix up in no time. So with this, he is going to grant a teammate helpful effect depending on their role. So offense gains guaranteed crit, defense gets taunt, and support gets harmful immunity for 1 turn. Now this is pretty massive. So we kind of saw similar things to this with Christoph, how he would give offensive characters guaranteed crit, and supports he would give haste, and defensive characters he would give defense up. Now we've got Maurice, who's going to give the guaranteed crits, or you can force a taunt on someone, which is really cool, just to help with other team buildings as well, especially when you have defensive characters who maybe have lost their taunt through a purge, or lost their taunt through, as it's a 1 turn taunt and it's a couple of turns cooldown. It's nice to be able to taunt when you need it. And then harmful immunity is massive. So this is really good abilities for any of these characters who are given things. So let's continue on. Maurice gets 1 charge when he uses this, and then if the target is summoned, spawn a copy of that character at a random location with full health, and then Maurice gets 2 more magic to a random ability. So that's a cool way to increase his MP as well. But also there are a lot of different. This ability right here can get used in so many ways. You can buff up a hard hitter, get a guaranteed crit. You can force a taunt on another defensive character. You can give harmful immunity when you know you got to protect yourself from those silences, those turn meter reductions, any of those really annoying effects that we want to try and avoid. So that is massive, and especially harmful immunity, how it protects also from turn meter reduction at the moment, is massive. Massive. So there is that. Alright, now let's go on down. At level 2, if if the target is Cogsworth, he can gain all effects. So that's pretty cool. So he's gonna get the defense, the taunts, the offense crit, and the immunity, which is nice, and especially nice on that. And then as you're moving on down, if the target's teammate is offense, you can get an additional guaranteed crit. So 2 guaranteed crits for an offensive character, that right there is just massive. And then he's going to get extra charge at the end. So with this, there is talk about giving this to the new dash meta, giving this to Dash, so Dash can do his kick, get a whole bunch of crits, then it's gonna force him to he's gonna let himself have another turn very soon after. Dash, crit on everybody, fill up his charges again, so he's gonna be able to avoid a whole bunch of attacks and damage before should be able to cycle through and do it all again. That is nasty. And the damage that he does, like, he already does massive damage. The damage that he does and will be able to do on full crit on the kick, and then full crits on dashing everybody, that is nasty. Now, there is also other talk about the giving this to the summoned units, and there's one thing: summoned units still need to get their fix with guaranteed crit. So at the moment, summon units, anything with guaranteed crit or anything with vulnerable that gets hit with a summon unit, they do 1 damage, which is horrendous, which is terrible. So that kind of needs to get fixed. But so the good thing about it is that you can potentially double summon a whole bunch of summons and then fill out your board with whoever you're trying to summon with. So there's talk with shadow bubbles. So shadowing bubbles, create more of them and spread them all around and just increase your damage that way. Same with Genie, and especially since these guys are Kingdom, there might be a rise in a Genie meta coming back that, boom, have a Genie duplicate, when he gets a bad effect, copy the duplicate because it's a summon, and then boom, you've got a couple more of them. That is a very, very interesting way. So there's talk about sorting things out like that, and that is very interesting. And there's a few other builds that I want to try and do with him, but that right there, like, that is already a whole bunch of team building, and I'm loving these characters for what potential that they have. So let's keep going. So this is crazy. This is nuts. So deal up to 75 damage, which is a lot of damage, a decent amount of damage for all opponents, especially for an AoE. Now the thing that you will note about this is that it doesn't start with any magic. It is empty. So you're gonna gain 1 magic per charge on the start of his turn. So the same kind of thing that we saw with Gantu, as when he's got his he gains his charges, and then he's gonna fill up his MP as he goes along. That is this. That's gonna happen with this as well. So, and then if Mrs. Potts is a teammate, this attack is guaranteed to do a crit strike. That is massive, especially since he's an offensive character and does a lot. And then at level 2, purge defense up from all opponents. That is nice as well, because sometimes you can get locked behind like the defense up, Baymax and the rest of the Big Hero 6 crews, and you're saying, I just want to do some damage. So that is going to be very nice. So a lot of damage potential here as well, and I like that. So we'll be getting charges through this ability, gaining 1 charge here, potentially 2 when he's leveled right up, and then when he's doing basics, he's going to get a charge as well. So it's going to take him a few turns to get there, but that'll also be nice. So here comes to his lead ability, and now this is also where things get quite cool. So grant summon teammates 20% offense and 25% speed. And then on spawn of someone's teammates, they gain offense up and haste for 1 turn, which is massive. So already having the increase, because when you use the likes of, say, Shadow, you are decreasing all of this health, offense, defense, things like that. What this is going to do is going to boost some of those up again and give them more speed so they can chug through. And then with the offense up and the haste, they're guaranteed to do a bit of damage quickly when they're summoned. So that is cool, and that makes more for those builds, like I was mentioning about Genie and Bubbles, builds like that, those will have a lot of potential. So I'm very excited to see about that. And then when you level this up, level 2, gain extra offense up and haste, which is nice, and then an extra percent of offense, so it's going to get up to 25% each. That is very nice. So with him, Maurice, he's got a great kit, and there is a lot of potential again with these characters. With Maurice, about ways you can build around him. He has a lot of different options for things you can do with you, and you want to run him as extra additional taunter to taunt your defensive characters, whether you want to run him to give some harmful immunity, or whether you want to help run him to get that guaranteed crits, or if you want to run him for the summons and doing different builds. There's a whole lot of builds here, potential with him, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I can't wait to get into some of these. I can't wait to unlock them and get into testing some of these for myself. So stay tuned. More of these to come, and you know it here. I want to be testing these as soon as I can.